This is a list of cars that have a poor name, bad sensitive reception, poor customer reception, safety faults, and/or poor workmanship are used to assess them. These cars have either been referred to as the worst of all time in mainstream magazines, or have earned critical reviews in numerous publications. Here are the 10 most evil cars that should be banned. Number 10, Jeep Commander 2006 through 10. The Jeep Commander is a 3-row SUV based on the Jeep Grand Cherokee that was launched in 2006. The Commander was a sales failure that was a discontinued thing after 4 years on the market and has received bad retroactive ratings. It was released at the outset of the 2000s oil crisis. The Commander was called one of the 10 worst cars of the 2000s by Consumer Guide, who described it as the big brother Jeep's Grand Cherokee never wanted, and noted that even with its smallest V6 engine, it only returned 14 mpg in testing. On list of the 10 worst Jeep vehicles, the Commander was criticized for its poorly built interior and crowded feeling in all 3 rows of seats. Chrysler CEO Sergio Marchionne was among the harshest critics of the Commander. Soon after taking over the corporation, he halted manufacturing and said of it, "That vehicle was unfit for human use. We sold some, but I don't know why people buy them."
Go ahead. Headlights on as well.
Number 9, Chrysler Sebring, 2007 through 10. The 2007 Chrysler Sebring received a lot of flack when it first came out. I don't get it. DCX must be trying to kill Chrysler. With Camry and Accord out there, who will put such a tired dog to the market? Really, how lucrative can rental cars be? Writer Johnny Lieberman said in a review of the Sebring when it was released in late 2006. Car and Driver said, however, the Sebring is one of the least appealing cars in its class, finishing last in a recent Car and Driver comparison test of 4-cylinder mid-size sedans. The engines are not especially refined, the handling and the ride are mediocre, and the interior quality is substandard. It doesn't even look that good, which is disappointing given that Chrysler used to have a reputation for excellent styling, not to mention that Sebring's handsome predecessor.
Okay friends, so that's what I've got for you for some of the top problems that we've come to find on a 3rd generation Chrysler Sebring.
Number 8, Dodge Caliber 2007 through 12. The Dodge Caliber, a small hatchback that replaced the critically acclaimed and successful Dodge Neon for the 2007 model year, was a sales disappointment that was panned by critics. Its styling, cheap and poorly made interior, poor performance, and unrefined powertrains were all targeted for scorn. If DCX is to rally its troops and remain competitive in these fuel-conscious times, they'll have to do better than this. They subsequently named the Caliber as one of their 10 worst autos of 2008. And said in a review of the updated 2010 model that the Caliber is a vehicle that a lot of folks would justifiably consider to be a loser car from a loser car company.
Well, why would your battery die? Obviously, there's something putting a draw on that battery. The reason why that might be is because inside of these stereos, there's a circuitry issue that tends to go bad. And so once that happens, it's going to make it so it's still connecting to try to receive power. And essentially, that's going to be drawing power from your battery. So if I was to park this when I get home, go inside, go to bed, come back out the next morning and try to start up the car. Great.
Number 7, Smart 4.2, 2007 through 14. For 2007, the Smart 4.2 was redesigned. The press had a strong negative reaction to this model. It was named one of the worst cars of the last 10 years by Consumer Guide. Power from the 3-cylinder engine is predictable, but fuel economy is the more troubling issue. Jalopnik named it one of the worst cars of the decade, stating that, as 106-inch long cars go, the Smart is pretty damn good. Nothing this size and shape should drive as well as the 4.2 does. Here's the problem. Every other car on the planet is bigger. Autoblog named the 4.2 on its list the 20 dumbest cars of all time. For people who like to park, the Smart 4.2 is the perfect vehicle. However, if you have to drive anywhere, it won't be a fun trip.
And if you want to know your revs, you have to look over here to this kind of flimsy rev counter. So where's the temperature gauge? Is it probably down by my ankles or something? Maybe it's here on the trip computer. So there we go. Let's cycle through. Is it there?
Number 6, Mitsubishi Mirage, 2012 through present. Despite significant work being put into the latest generation of the long-running Mitsubishi Mirage, it received mixed reviews, with many of them being strongly negative. The Telegraph named it among the 10 worst cars ever sold in Britain, Forbes ranked it number 11 in its list of 15 new cars to avoid, and TheStreet.com ranked it at number 3 in its list of the 10 worst cars of all time revisited. Number 5, Chrysler Crossfire, 2004 through 8. The Chrysler Crossfire is a sports car that was essentially a Mercedes-Benz R170 rebodied by Chrysler. By November 2005, retailers had a 230-day supply of the Crossfire, causing Chrysler to begin offering it on Overstock.com. Crossfire was named one of the top automotive failures of the last decade. The antiquated recirculating ball steering made it slow to respond, handling was disappointing, and at the same time, the ride was harsh. To further pile on the drawbacks, the interior fell short of expectations, as did an overall performance and everyday convenience. In the end, not even Celine Dion could save the Crossfire. And the final insult came when remainders were sold off on Overstock.com and eBay. AOL UK named the Crossfire the worst car of the 2000 decade. Number 4, Chevrolet SSR 2003-6. Launched in 2003, the Chevrolet SSR was a retro-styled hot rod pickup truck based on the Chevrolet Trailblazer. It was a commercial failure and earned lasting critical derision due to its Trailblazer origins and poor performance. Named as one of the 50 worst cars of all time by Time magazine, Dan Neal described it as being heavy, underpowered, and unforgivably lazy. It was no more hot rod than Britney is the next Helen Mirren.
I think most of the weirdness of this car was in the style of it and all the stuff I just showed you, the trunk with the bed. I mean, that stuff is so strange.
Number 3, Saturn Ion, 2003-7. Unlike its successful and critically acclaimed predecessor, the Saturn S Series, the Saturn Ion, based on the GM Delta platform, garnered largely negative reviews for its poor design, poor quality, and poor driving dynamics, and was considered a reason for the downfall of the once successful Saturn marque that was discontinued by its parent company General Motors in 2010. The Ion was notable for its quality, safety, and construction problems that led to a total of 12 recalls. Number 2, Pontiac GTO 2003-6. In 2003, Pontiac revived the once successful GTO muscle car by importing a slightly modified Australian Holden Monaro, equipped with a 5.7-liter V8 engine from the Corvette to the US. Sales remained far behind expectations, which was mainly blamed on the car's bland design, poor quality, comparatively high price, and Australian roots. It was also based on the Opel Omega B, which had previously been unsuccessfully imported to the US as the Cadillac Catera. Number 1, Renault Velsatis, 2002-9. Renault's other effort to tap into the luxury market was a more conventional but still oddly designed 4-door hatchback limousine called Velsatis. It received some praise for its high level of comfort, but its road handling was considered poor, and its design was often ridiculed, as designer Patrick Lecomte was primarily interested in presence rather than elegance. What's the worst French car ever? Obviously, it's the Renault Velsatis, an overpriced, under-luxurious stink bomb.